Hello mathematicians, and welcome to the Consumer Math Unit Test Review. The first question says, 78% of students earned a B or higher. What is this as a fraction in simplest form? Well, we know right away that 78% can be written as 78 over 100. That is written as a fraction. You'll get half the points for that. But it's not in simplest form, because we know that we can divide an even number by 2, so we can divide both the top and the bottom by 2, and we'll get 39 over 50. Now I can't divide by 2 because 39 is an odd number. I can divide 39 by 3, but I can't divide 50 by 3. I can't divide either of them by 4. I can divide 50 by 5, but I can't divide 39 by 5. So I'm pretty confident that 39 over 50 is the fraction in simplest form. The next question says, in an online poll, 6 out of 25 people responded yes. What percent is this? Well, we know that 6 out of 25 equals something out of 100. We're trying to find a percent, so we have to put it out of 100. To get from 25 to 100, we multiply by 4. So we have to do the same thing on the top. That gives us 24 out of 100. How can we write this as a percent? 24%. Question 3 says, in the hallway, 3.5% of students had yellow shoelaces. What is this written as a decimal? Again, you can try to move the decimal point over 2 by yourself in your head, or you can just write 3.5 over 100 into your calculator, and it'll spit out 0.035. And that is how you write 3.5% as a decimal. Questions 4, 5, 6, and 7 ask you to use the percent proportion to solve each problem and round to the nearest tenth. The percent proportion that you want to use in every single case is the part of the whole equals some percent. So the question asks, 48 is what percent of 52? Well, it says what percent right in the question, so we know that is what we're looking for. It also says of 52. Of means it goes on the bottom. So the only place for 48 to go is on the top. Then we just have to cross multiply. If I punch 48 times 100 divided by 52 into my calculator, I get 111.538461538. But the question asks us to round to the nearest tenth. So my answer is just going to be 111.5. Question 5 asks, what percent of 22 is 56. Again, we're going to write our percent proportion, part of the whole equals some percent. Again, it asks you what percent, so that's what we're looking for. Of 22 means of 22 goes on the bottom, and 56 has to go on the top. If I plug 56 times 100 divided by 22 into my calculator, I get 254.5454554 and so on. But I need to round to the nearest tenth, so I'm just going to write it as 254.5. Question 6 asks, what is 16% of 36.2? Once again, use my percent proportion, part of the whole equals some percent. But this time they tell me the percent. So I'm going to put my 16 right there because I know it is 16%. Of 36.2 tells me 36.2 goes on the bottom. So what I'm trying to find is the top. If I cross multiply 36.2 times 16 divided by 100, I get 5.792. This time when I round, 79 is going to go to 8. So 5.8 is my final answer. Number 7 says 4.5 is 90% of what number? I know I'm going to need to use my percent proportion. And I have 90%, so I know that's going to go over here, over the 100. Of what? Means I don't know what's on the bottom here. Of what? So 4.5 has to go on the top. And if I cross multiply 4.5 times 100 divided by 90, I get x equals 5. That doesn't need to be rounded. Question 8 says, Bob is looking to buy a new Twins baseball cap. He finds one that normally sells for $17.99 and is for 20% off. How much is the discount and what is the final sale price? So this is the type of problem that you had the whole worksheet on. We need to figure out what 20% off the normal price of $17.99 is. To take the percent of anything, you do 20 over 100 times the original price. If I do that, I'm going to get about $3.60. This is the discount amount. This is how much money he's going to save because it equals 20% of $17.99. But it also asks us for the final sale price. So I have to take the original price and subtract $3.60, which is the amount I'm saving. If the original price was $17.99 and I'm saving $3.60, then the final price is going to be $14.39. And that answers the question. $3.60 is the discount, $14.39 is the final price. Question 9 is one of the backwards ones. Paige bought a really nice dress on sale for $44. If the discount was 20%, what was the original price. So we know the sale price is $44. We know the percent discount is 20%. What we want to know is the original price. So the way we go about this is we have to figure out how much is left after we take 20% off. That's our first step. So if I have a pizza and I eat 20% of it, how much is left? 80% is left. So if I have an original price and I take 20% off of it, I have 80% of the price left to pay. I know that that price is $44. So there's two ways I can do this. I can say 80% is the same as 44 over the original price, or I can just take the sale price of $44 and divide it by 80%. Either way, I'm going to end up with an original price of $55. Number 10 is the other type of problem we did the worksheet on. This is a tax problem. So if Martina bought a pair of shoes for $29.90 and the sales tax is 4%, how much tax did she have to pay and what was the total cost? I take 4% of $29.90, and that's going to give me $1.20 when I round it. That is how much tax Martina has to pay. Then I ask myself, does tax make things cheaper or more expensive? I'm going to have to add it because tax makes things more expensive. So if I add $1.20 to the original price of $29.90, I get $31.10. Question 11 asks you to combine the two. Mohamed went to a store that is having a 15% off sale in a state with 10% tax. If he bought a shirt with a price of $60, what is the final price after discount and tax? Well, first we're going to take 15% off for the discount. I take 15% times the original price of $60. That gives me $9. That is the amount he's going to save at the store. If he's saving it, then we have to subtract it from 60 to get the sale price. We have to pay tax before we can take it, and in this state, there's 10% tax. So if I take the sale price of $51 and I multiply it by 10% tax, I get $5.10. Tax makes things more expensive, so when I add $5.10 to the sale price of $51, I get a total of $56.10. That is the final price after my discount of $9 and my tax of $5.10. Question 12 is simple interest. The formula for simple interest is I equals P R, T, where P is the amount we start with, R is the interest rate, and T is the amount of time in years. If Tom invested $1,500 in a banking plan that earns 4.4% interest, what is the amount of simple interest he will earn after 4 years? The amount he starts with is $1,500. His interest rate is 4.4%, and the time is 4 years. Remember to write your 4.4% as 4.4 over 100. If you forget to write it over 100, you're going to get a number that is way too big. If I plug all that into my calculator, the answer I'll get is $264. Question 13 asks you, George has $275 in an account that is compounded annually at a rate of 8%. Calculate the final balance after 5 years. The formula for compound interest is the balance equals the principal times 1 plus the interest rate to the power of T, time in years. So he starts with $275. You multiply that by 1 plus the interest rate. Remember to write it over 100 because it's a percent. And then we use either the XY button or a little hat to raise this whole thing to the power 5 years. If I plug that into my calculator, I get 404.0652 and so on and so on and so on. To round it to a cent, that's a little bit more than half, so I'm going to get $404.07. If you wrote it down as 6 cents on the test, I would still mark that correct. Question 14 says, Bill paid $20 for a new DVD 3 years ago. Yesterday, he paid $15 for a new DVD. Find the percent change rounded to the nearest tenth, and state whether it is an increase or a decrease. For these types of problems, we have to figure out what is the change from the old price to the new price, and then we divide it by the old price. So the difference from 20 to 15 is 5. That's how much the price changed. The original price is the $20 from 3 years ago. So if I take the change of 5, divide it by the original price, I get 0.25. To write that as a percent, it's 25%. Is this an increase or a decrease? Well, it started at 20 and went down to 15. Down is a decrease. The last question says, the number of computers in the lab has gone up from 20 to 35. Find the percent change rounded to the nearest tenth, and state whether it is an increase or a decrease. Well, the difference between 20 and 35 is 15. If we divide 15 by the original number, 20, we get 0.75. To write that as a percent, it's just 75%. Does it go up or down from 20 to 35? That's going up. So that is an increase. And that is the entire review sheet. I hope that helps.